What we will do, right now, okay, I want to write a new code for logging into a set. So let me create a new page in here, call it as action 2. So if you remember, the steps are launching an application, logging, typing the username, typing the password, choosing the drop down and pressing on the login button. That part is not changing, so let us start doing that. So I'll drag and drop, and so my first step is launch an application. The launch part will always be the same, so it's a navigate stage and then launch. So I know that the cursor is present on the text box, but I do not want to send the keystrokes to the cursor. Rather, I want to actually insert the value into the text box. I should tell Blue Prism, insert the user name into the username text box. To give such commands to the Blue Prism should know where the username text box is. The Blue Prism should know where is the password text box is. Now, as a human, how can you say what is the username text box and what is the password text box based upon the label next to it? So we need to teach Blue Prism that the elements of this application that you are going to use, the text boxes, the drop down, the buttons, whatever you are using, you teach Blue Prism those are the elements that you are interacting with. So in order to get that done, you need to open application modeler. So first you need to click on identify, and then so let us say that I want to teach that this is the login button to the Blue Prism. So the moment you start highlighting, right, you can see the login button gets highlighted. So the moment the login button gets highlighted, control left click. Blue Prism will learn that it is a login button. Blue Prism will learn. Okay, so Blue Prism will identify that element, and then you need to specify it as login button. That element is nothing but the moment you click on highlight, the login button should get highlighted. So you just start Blue Prism what login button is or where it is placed. So what happened is the moment you clicked on identify and when you chose control left click on that button, Blue Prism has captured all that element information of that button, like the height, the width, the number of the window name, the text on that element, everything, the start text, the coordinates, everything it has taken from that and it has captured and stored it in here. Okay, observe. So that's the reason when you click on highlight, it went back and searched for this element information, whichever element is matching, it just highlighted that button. Similarly, I'll start doing for others as well. So you do not have to go with all the elements of that application. You just go with all the elements that you are using currently. The elements that I'm using are these two text boxes, this drop down and login button, nothing else. I'm not using the reset button, I'm not using the options button, I'm not using these labels, I'm not using anything else. I'm just using those four elements. So all I have to do is teach those four elements to the Blue Prism. So let us start teaching the text box part as well. I click on identify for the new element. Control left click. Capture the username text box. Should get like highlighted. I got an error saying more than one element found. So what happened in this scenario is when I captured the text box, when I captured the username text box, the Blue Prism has identified the element properties and stored it in the application modeler. When I clicked on the highlight, it took those properties, went back, and it found that there are two elements with the same property set. Both have same elemental properties. So it got confused as to which one that it is to pick. So let us give a real example where your brother has called you. He said one of his friends is coming. You just need to go and pick him up. Unfortunately, you do not know how his brother's friend would look like. So when you went to the bus stop, you saw 50 people standing on that bus stop. So what did you do is you called his brother's friend and asked how did you look like. He said he is wearing a red shirt and a blue pant. When you looked at the crowd, there are four people wearing red shirt and blue pant. Does it mean that all the four are his brother's friends? No, right? Next, what would you do? You'll call him back and say that there are a couple of people with the same attributes. Can you give me an extra identifier which will uniquely pick you up? Then he'll say, I'm wearing goggles, I'm wearing this funky hair, or I'm so and so tall, or I'm so and so skin tone, whatever he would say, extra attribute, which will help you to pick the correct person out from that crowd. The same thing has happened here. The element properties are giving you two text boxes. When you captured one text box, whatever properties that Blue Prism has gathered, when you clicked on highlight, those properties are not enough to correctly identify that particular text box. It is identifying both the text box because both have same elemental properties. Now what you need to do is you need to capture any other extra attribute which will correctly identify the text box that you need, the username text box that is. In this scenario, I would probably go with either match index or match or ordinal. So let us talk about that bit eventually. So what we have this time is called as a match index. What is match index is out of the matched elements, out of those four people wearing red shirt, you said that you are the first person standing. Out of those four people wearing the same red shirt and blue pant, you are the last person standing, or you are the second person standing. So out of the matched elements, I am the first one. Out of the match, the index always starts with 0. Out of matched elements, I am the first one or the second one. So here the matched index always counts from the bottom. So the match index 1 will be password. Match index 2 will be username. Either you can go for match index or you can go for ordinal. What is ordinal is out of all the 50 people, out of all the elements, I am the first one standing. Or out of all the people, I am the 13th element. Out of all the elements. Not just matched, of all the elements present in that application. I am the 13th element. So I chose ordinal here, and when I clicked on highlight, you can see that my username text box is getting highlighted. So I'll call this as username text box. Similarly, I'll create one more element. By the password text box this time, control left click. Again, when you click on highlight, two text boxes will get highlighted. You need to choose go for either match index or ordinal. Click on highlight. That is the overall of all the elements. This is the 11th element that's standing. So we call this as password text box. There is one more element left, that is a drop down, add element, identify. This is not the drop down, this in fact is the drop down. So control left click. We click on highlight. You can see there is only one drop down in that whole application, so there is no multiple elements or error we got. We just simply straightforward got the element name. Now teaching the elements of the Blue Prism is done. The Blue Prism knows what is a username text box, what is a password text box, where is the drop down, and where is the login button. It knows all the things. Now you need to start utilizing those what it learned into the new code. So let us start doing that. Launching the application is done. My next step is to filling in the username text box. What did I do before to write into username text box? The moment the application is launched, the cursor is present on the username text box, so I started typing. I do not want to do that. Irrespective of the cursor, I still want to type it into the username text box. Yeah, we'll talk about login also. Come back to that. I already have a captured login button starting. If you remember, I'm not sure if you joined the class late, but I already captured. Anyways, so irrespective of the cursor present or not, I want to insert the value into the username text box. So before what were we using? We were using navigate stage global send keys to write into the username text box. What does global send keys do? Wherever the cursor is present, it will start typing in the keystrokes there. Now what I want to do is I want to actually write into the username text box. So to do that, we use the write stage. A write stage is actually used to insert or write a value directly into the text box irrespective of the cursor. So double click on the write stage. To prove you that what I would do is first I write into the password text box to show you how it works. Password text box. The value I write is admin. Let me run this and show you. See, by default, the moment the application is launched, the cursor is present on the username text box. But what I am doing here is I am using write stage on the password text box directly. When I link this up, see what happens. Can you see? My cursor is still present on the username text box, but the value has been inserted to the password. The moment I start typing, you can see the cursor is still present on the username text box only. So whether the cursor is present or not, whether the application is focused or not, the password text box has it inserted into its own text box. Similarly, I'll start doing for username also. In the same action, I'll keep doing it. Parallelly, I can insert in both the places. See, when I'm sending the keystrokes, I cannot type in two text boxes at the same place because the cursor always be at the one place. The cursor cannot be at two different text boxes. Whereas when I'm inserting the value, I can insert the value into the two text boxes in one single go. Right. So the username text box also I'm inserting in the same. Let's run this. As you can see. Method is to choose the value from a drop down, not type into it blindly, rather choose a value from the list of drop down values. Whether to use a navigate stage, drop down, and then from the list of actions, you need to choose select item. Either you can give the text of that item that you want to select, or you can give the position of the item from the list of values in the drop down. So I can give text this time. This is the count. Finally, I need to click on the login button. So in the navigate stage itself, when you drag and drop the login action, login button element, the action would be press. So you're directly pressing on the login button. So if you execute end to end, you start, you launch, you insert password, choose the value and press on the login button. Now what is the difference between this method and previous method? I don't see any execution speed or anything, no difference as such. The only difference is when you are executing this, let us say the windows got pop-up and the application lost its focus. Still, you can see the application has logged in successfully, because even though cursor is not present, the things are going to happen in the backend. That is the main reason for using this. Anyone has any questions? So you guys are clear of what the difference between yesterday's code and today's code? So you should write this. We have two more flaws. One is what if there is a slowness in the application. Next is where are we storing the password? Currently in the code, but that is not the current approach. We'll be checking those two scenarios in tomorrow's class and understand how to make your code more robust. I want you to practice this today. I know that you have the tool. I know that you have the application with you. I want you to practice this today and see if you're able to get that done. Is that all right? I don't see any reply. All right, guys. Then, so we'll catch up in tomorrow's class. I have to park the class a bit early today. We'll catch up tomorrow. All right. Okay. What was the issue you're getting? So I'm making you the presenter. Can you share your screen and show us as to where exactly you're facing that screen? No problem. So I just made you the presenter. I can see your screen. Just show me what was the error you're getting. I can see your screen. Yeah, that is expected. You are supposed to get database does not exist. If you remember, I told you that the database does not exist is something supposed to happen. Now click on OK. Go to File. Click on OK. Yeah, that is supposed to happen. The database will not exist. You have to create for the first time. If you remember, that is what I have told you to do as well. If you the steps that I have sent. Click on Cancel. Go to File. Create Database. Click OK. Go to File. Create Database. Create Database. Yeah, click OK. Now type admin and admin, username and password. Have you not listened to the class that when I showed the installation procedure? Alright guys, so anyone else has any questions? Yeah, I can stop sharing. Alright guys, we'll resume in tomorrow's class. Okay.